Shine Runners Racing Radio Show is dedicated to the fans, drivers, promoters, and most importantly, families of local auto racing. Our mission and commitment is to help build, promote, and support the local racetracks across the country.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shine Runners Racing Radio Show right here today. I'm your host, Robert Rooster Kitchen, along with our host, AJ Hollywood Bellinger. AJ, man, how you doing?
Man, I tell you what, I've got to admit, I am nervous.
Me too. I've been on the microphone for about 20-plus years, but this is the scariest I've ever been, so we got to wing this thing.
We're going to wing it.
You know, we are sitting in amongst of some of racing greats right here in front of us tonight. I think that's why I'm so nervous. I mean, we've got the Swan family here with us, man. We got Terry Odom from Triple T Raceway. We've got a bunch of folks here tonight to talk about racing. You know, Randy Wyatt's here with us. The Brown family's here with us. Bobby Jackson's here with us, and his wife from Racin Rooster. Man, it's going to be a good evening. I feel it.
It absolutely is. Man, I tell you what, we can't thank enough our sponsors that we have got that have helped us out tonight. Racin Roosters, Catering. We've got folks here. I wish we've got to get another camera so we can turn around and show all the folks that are actually here.
You know, Racin Rooster come out tonight, and the chicken wings are smelling awesome. There's five different flavors, you know, and the way that it works with the Table of Champions is all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is go on our Facebook page and share and like, and you could be sitting at the Table of Champions next week right here on Shine Runners Racing Radio. You know, speaking of, some of the things we got coming up tonight, we made the mention with Randy White, the driver of the number 54 Drainage Incorporated Motorsports, the Bounty Hunter, the Modlite, going to be talking about Modlites tonight, and Neverlift Racing Products, Armor Coat. In the house, we got the Armor Coat. Right? It's all about the can, baby.
It's all about the
can. All
can.
about the can. You know, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead to a little short commercial break, and we're going to come back with Bobby Jackson from Racin Rooster Catering, the official wing of the Shine Runners Racing Radio Show. Looking to ease the pain of cooking for your guests? Tired of hosting the parties and staying on the grill all night? Let us help you. Racin Rooster, a fully functional rolling kitchen loaded with the official chicken wing of Shine Runners Racing Radio. Owned and operated by Tony and Bobby Jackson. Contact them at 910-237-4565 or jackson.bobby@yahoo.com. Racin Rooster Wings, come get you some. Like to welcome Bobby Jackson in the studio here with us tonight. Bobby, how you doing, man?
I don't know. Scared.
Scared?
Join the crowd.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've got a new thing started out, and we had a meeting the other day. This all started last Thursday as an idea. And we've all come together. We put stuff, and you've been here, man, 100% behind us, and we greatly appreciate you, what you're doing. Tell our viewers a little bit about what Racin Rooster is all about.
Well, we started this as a hobby about a little over 4 years ago, and it's accumulated and grown into a full-time business. And we're just so blessed to be able to have the customers that we have out there. We do mostly all of the events at Festival Park. I travel with 2 carnival companies in 3 different states, getting ready to go to 5 states. And we do private parties. We roll right up in your yard, 25 people or more. And we have our menu that's on our Facebook page. However, if you want it, we can cook it, we can cater it.
You know, and we were talking just the other day while we're sitting here, because we're all about promoting products, promoting folks with racing. You know, there's a lot of tracks around here that have a lot of folks coming to these big races.
Yeah, you're right.
And I've stood there and I've seen concession lines. I mean, the wait's 30 minutes long. What can Racin Rooster do to help that out, as far as also help the race promoter to make money in the pits?
Well, we do different things as far as fundraisers. We help athletic committees with different schools. We do fundraisers for churches. And you start talking about a racetrack, we can actually go in and talk with the owner of the racetrack, especially on the big events, not do it on a regular Saturday night race, because a lot of the concession people can handle a regular Saturday night. But you got a big event coming in with 2 or 3, 500,000 or so people. We can go in, set up on the outside, help them with the food. We carry a different variety of food for everyone in the family. And we can take care of the lines that they have in the concession stands, the waiting period. It's all about taking care of the customers. we give the track a percentage of our money, or we set up with a flat fee to start with, whatever they want.
And man, that's a good idea too. You know, AJ, with getting those times down.
And you know, also a lot of times you've got concession stands that are up in the stands. You know, and a lot of times, sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. But there's not a concession stand down there in the pits for the drivers. You know, so I mean, having you down there, I know when I'm out there racing, there's a lot of times I don't have time to run all the way up into the stands to the concession stand to get something to eat. If I had something right there down in the pits that I could get, take it back to the trailer, enjoy it, not to mention it's good, man, that would be awesome.
Well, and another thing is some of the smaller tracks doesn't even have a concession.
Yeah.
And, you know, we out there to do it. You know, if we can help, we're available. Check us out on our Facebook page. We are 100 A with the county health environmental section with the health department. We have insurance certifications that we can, you know, give to the property owner. We won't discuss it over there, but you know, we have everything that's available or anything that's needed for the property owner.
And I gotta ask you, man. I was combing through your Facebook page, and I seen fried corn. I gotta know fried corn, man. I mean,
well, several years ago, somebody asked me to go set up at the state fair in Raleigh, and they
anything fried. I
they
mean,
said
you could get anything.
You've got to
fried
have
there.
something different to get into the state fair. Something different. We just got to play around with it a little bit, and if you have it one time, I don't like to serve it too much. It's very good, but it'll make you want to slap somebody. And I know you're already in that environment anyhow. So, you know, you have to control yourself when you eat fried corn.
Whew, man,
Now,
Maybe next week, if I get an invitation to come out and cook for you guys, I'll bring some fried corn for you.
Well, we would definitely have you back last week. If you guys haven't noticed, right back here behind us, Raging Rooster is the official chicken wing of the Shine Runners Racing Radio Show. And we're also going to be the official fried corn of Shine. I mean, we're going to keep this going. We're going to have official hot dogs and everything else.
Nah, get somebody else.
But come on, now, Bobby, how far do you service? How far will you go to do an event?
Well, for the last 2 weeks, me and Tony got in late Sunday afternoon. We were in Rock Hill, South Carolina for 2 weeks at a festival there, a carnival there. And we, you know, South Carolina, Georgia, we'll dip into Florida. If the money's there, we're going. August and September, we'll be in the Richmond, Virginia area for 4 weeks.
Wow.
You know, there's one more thing that we want to throw out. Bobby, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for promoting. Somebody said you were going to be in Baywood, which is not too far from here, coming up on Thursday nights. Is that it?
Yeah, I think I'm skipping. Yeah, there you go. I thought you were saying that. On Thursday the 29th, Baywood, I think it's the housing community over there. They have food trucks and vendors over every Thursday night. And we've been on the road so much, haven't had the opportunity. So our Thursday night schedule going in over there is June the 29th.
That's
Awesome.
going to be, because I actually live in Baywood, so I'm going to be able to have Raging Rooster a few times. So you get to see my lovely face, the Hollywood face.
I don't know if that's a good thing, AJ. But, Bobby, we greatly appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a caution flag, and we're going to be coming back. We're going to head down to the infield of some pit chat with our Racing Book of Knowledge, Racin Ryan Swan. Ladies and gentlemen, be back here shortly. Thank you, Bobby. Man, that's great having Bobby and Tony here, you know, with the Raging Rooster, ladies and gentlemen. We still got plenty of chicken wings over here for all our Table of Champions. Y'all make sure you get plenty enough to eat tonight. Like we say, we're going to head down to our Racing Book of Knowledge. We got Ryan Swan in the house.
I don't
Ryan,
even think we have introduced him yet tonight.
Oh, was he going to say anything?
Ryan, can you hear us? Are you there? Is your mic working?
I believe it is working.
Awesome. Good deal.
I love that, man.
So now it's time for Racin Ryan with your weekly race report.
All right. The highlights from last weekend at Rockfish Speedway. In the 600 sprint division, you had Matt Carr winning. In the 270 sprints, you had Andrew Doherty. In the Sharp Mini Late Models, you had Matt Lawson. In the Modlites, you had Lance Brasington taking the win. In the Legend Cars, Levi Brown took his first win. He is also being taught by Hank Edwards Jr.
The Hurricane,
The Hurricane.
Category 5.
At the Rattlesnake, you had Brian Strickland taking the late model win. Andy Bowen taking the open wheel modifieds.
That guy's on
Now,
the
hey,
roll.
before you go any further with Andy Bowen, the number 66 Honeycutt Custom Cabinets, that guy has been on fire this past year. I'm telling you. And
We've got how many wins does he have?
I'm not even sure.
We're going to have to get Racin Ryan on that. When we come back next week, we're going to have a win count on the Honeycutt cabinet.
Yeah.
66 Ryan.
Keep an eye on that car because I guarantee he's going to be coming down to the Diet Mountain Dew Modifieds this weekend down in Fayetteville Motor Speedway in Boone City. But take it away, man, one more time. Sorry to butt in, but Andy Bowen, that's something to talk about.
In the Super Streets, we had Johnny Moore taking home the win. In Pure Stocks, we had Elvin Matthews, and U-Car, we had Chris Reeves. And at Triple T Raceway, we had the Donald Ray Seeley Senior Memorial Kid Kart class, and it was taken by number 23 Wyatt Kitchen for the first time on home soil.
That nightmare, baby. That nightmare.
Man,
I'm going to tell you.
That's the first time I've been able to watch him race, and I got to tell you, man, that kid's going places.
Well, you know
I
what?
know you're proud.
What's got me concerned is all the girls that were hanging over the
He had a
fence
full
hollering Wyatt.
gaggle of them, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, he's got more daggone cheerleaders than the Dallas Cowboys.
That's what I'm thinking. And we're going to get more information coming up from that Triple T Raceway because we have the man in the house, Terry Odom, and he's going to be coming up a little bit later. You know, Ryan, thank you so much, buddy, for talking about everything coming in tonight. We still got plenty more to come from Racin Ryan down in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. But we've got one man coming up now, the North Carolina Nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. He is in the studio here tonight with us, and we are looking for him to come down and give us a little racing interview on what this little 7-year-old's been doing, man. He's been racing down in Southwest Florida. You know, he's got the sponsors up underneath him, Drainage Incorporated, Sandy Run Landscaping, Core Enterprises, Bellinger Signs and Graphics, Skeeters on the River, MLS. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of what this wild man's been doing. You know, in this go-kart.
Look at that picture right there, Rooster. This guy had 30 people just in a victory lane picture alone. That's more than Rick Hendrick can get out there.
I'm telling you. And also, you know, I want to talk a little bit about To the Nightmare. You know, not only am I proud of you, son, I can't even fathom how proud I am of you. You know, down in Southwest Florida, you proved the point and won the Southern Shootout Vega Championship down there. You know, tell us a little bit about your go-karting experience and what you love about racing.
I love whenever I win, and I love my go-kart because it goes super fast, and I love racing because you can challenge other people in the turns and stuff.
You know, there's been a little bit of difference. You've been running down in Florida. You've actually come down to Triple T to the Donald Ray Seeley Memorial Race and picked up your first win in North Carolina this past weekend, man. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the track was very bumpy, but I did win, though.
You did win.
It was pretty fun. I had about 30 people around me.
And, you know, something I want to pinpoint about Triple T. Whenever the Kid Kart class come off the track, all the drivers that was at Triple T was down there fist bumping these guys,
Exactly.
and all that was promoted by the track owner.
And
Terry
that's
Odom.
what we need. We've got to have more of that. We got to bring these young guys in and show them the sportsmanship that is in the sport,
Yeah.
and how much of a family we are. I mean, you know, when the Nightmare came off the track, you know, we had the Slayer right there with him.
That's right, Mason the Slayer Bullet.
Exactly. And they had so much fun. They were high-fiving, having a good time, man. I mean, they loved it.
Well, you know, I've had a chance to talk with Terry, too, as far as kid kart racing in the area, and we've got to get these youngins involved. We've got to get folks to move up, and they're the future of racing. Like
Absolutely.
you said earlier on in the pre-race show here at the Champions Table, you know, I remember as a kid, you as a kid, and a lot of folks here as kids, we were riding around, I mean, dirty clay knees,
Yeah.
pushing Matchbox cars around Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and, you know, now, you know, we've evolved into racing ourselves, and so...
You didn't go to Fayetteville Motor Speedway or any other dirt track on a Saturday night as a kid without your bag of Matchbox cars.
Exactly.
You know, and you were going to be in a foot race in a circle. I bet you we wore out the grass. We actually did. There was grass there was worn out to a racetrack. Had a flag man and everything.
Yeah.
Right down the hill.
The good times,
The
man.
good times.
The great times. But you know what, North Carolina Nightmare, thank you so much, buddy. I hope nothing but the best for you in your future. Is there anything else you'd like to say to your viewing audience tonight? And we're going to be looking for you coming up in 2 weeks at Triple T Raceway. You want to say something?
I love racing.
There you go.
Yeah,
Man. That
big
guy
round of
has
applause,
got
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, for the North Carolina Nightmares. We get ready to go into another one. We're going to come back with our main man, Racin Ryan, with the week racing action coming up for you here today. Coming back, ladies and gentlemen, right here, Shine Racing. Yes, we got this thing going on, Shine Runners Racing Radio, and we're going back down to the pits with our main man, Racin Ryan, with this week's racing action.
This week in the racing action, we will have the Carolina Clash, $4,000 to win, school out for 40. People to watch in that race are like Dustin Mitchell, Ben Watkins, and downtown Michael Brown. Other series that will be racing is the UMP Diet Mountain Dew Modifieds.
And that's $1,500 to win, if I'm not mistaken, in that Diet Mountain Dew Modifieds this weekend.
Absolutely.
Down at Boom City, you know.
And I think we just got a note from. Man, I tell you what, that's the great thing about having the Swan family here. They're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to racing. They've already handed us a note. Bowman's got 10 wins this season.
Already, man. You know we've got a couple other racetracks going on. Don't forget, like they say, go down to Boom City, the Carolina Clash coming up. The school's out, $44,000 to win. What about Rockfish, man? What about the Rock of Hope?
Rockfish will return back to action June 10th with their 600 sprints, their 270 minis, their karts, the legend cars, the mini pro, and the Modlites.
And they also, you know, Dublin is taking a week off, and then Dublin's going to be coming back with the Bell & Bell Vintage Modified Series.
Have you seen? Yeah, you've seen them run, right?
I have, man. That's a great show. I love seeing the Bell & Bell Vintage Modifieds run. It's the old day of racing.
And you know, when you go out there, you think, oh, a Bell & Bell Vintage Modified. Them guys are getting it, man. They're not just putting around the track. They are wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, they're flying.
You know, so make sure you go down and support those guys. And we're actually going to have, I wouldn't exactly call them yesterday's heroes because they're still heroes to me. Jerry Johnson will be in studio next week.
Yeah.
We'll have Burt Kitchen in studio next week as well. We're working on the Hurricane Hank Edwards coming up next week. We'll see if we can get Bill Cole down and the promoter for Dublin Motor Speedway to talk a little bit about what they've got going on down there in Dublin, North Carolina. You know what? Coming up, we got our main man in the house tonight, Randy Wyatt, the number 54 Drainage Incorporated Motorsports Bounty Hunter. He's also going to be coming in talking about Armor Coat and Neverlift products. He'll be coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, Randy Wyatt. And back in the action, ladies and gentlemen, we got our main man in the house, Randy Wyatt. Randy, how are you doing, buddy? Great, man. You know, it's good to have you here. We greatly appreciate all you're doing for motorsports. You know, everywhere I turn, I see Drainage Incorporated or Sunshine Vending or you know, a company that you own. And you know what gets me is you have a race team of your own, but you take out of your pocket, you take out of your companies to give back to other race teams to make that happen. And I'm telling you what, that's a positive in this sport.
Tell us a little bit about some of the products that you're going to start selling. I know that we've got, as it's on the screen right now, the Armor Coat by Neverlift Racing.
That's going to be the first product we're going to start promoting and selling. We're eventually going to get into the apparel line. Right now, this is our main focus. Silicone base, spray it in the mud gathering prone areas on your car, and it makes it a whole lot easier. It's a lot easier to clean my car on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it keeps the weight off. I tell you what, when you're out there, and you wouldn't realize how much mud cakes up on a race car. I mean, I don't know if you remember the old days. They used to dive down in the mud, try to pick up as much. You don't want that nowadays. You got to
have that weight down to a science. And this here Neverlift Racing Armor Coat is an advanced silicone product. You know, it's got and I'm gonna tell you what this thing's got. It's got a melon finish, a melon smell, and there's some racetrack drivers that need that.
Yeah.
I mean, a little shot.
I bet you. We could probably.
I mean, just a little shot to the Porta John. I mean, I feel fragrant right now.
I bet you the wives would love it. They could get it on them race suits,
yes.
man. You know, they probably get a little more.
You got to be
affection.
careful where you go smelling like a melon, though. I'm telling you.
Well,
you know, but you got to check out these products, man. Neverlift Racing, you know, and you've got it. You're actually carrying it. How can people get in contact with you to get this product?
Call me at 910-874-5136 or email me at drainageinc@gmail.com. Drainageinc@gmail.
I smell like I just tripped and fell at Bath and Body Works. I really do. I feel all aromatic right now.
Kind of smell kind of sweet right now.
Yeah, I do. You know, we want to also talk, man, you are the driver, the number 54 Drainage Incorporated Motorsports, the bounty hunter. You know, Modlite is a new, it's new to the sport. We haven't really seen these cars a whole lot. You guys are racing down at the Rock of Hope. And, you know, tell us a little bit about the Modlite series and what y'all have got going on. But you got to, get on that microphone a little bit. You got to ride it.
One thing I really like about the Modlites, I mean, everybody, if I was to tear up my car tomorrow, everybody would pitch in and help us, you know, get it back together. That's one thing I've really learned with this series. Great group of guys to race against.
when you what was the decision, or how was it made to finally get into a Modlite? Did you kind of go to Rockfish and see them running and say, man, I'd like to run that, or was it something that was kind of in the works before that? Or
I seen Jake Layton came down to Dublin. We were doing a lot of stuff down there, and he kind of beat up on the legend cars with that Modlite, and I said, man, I got to have one of them. Everything just fell into place, and wound up getting one. And best decision I made. But I actually, I looked around to see what was cost effective. I didn't want to get into the expensive tires,
Absolutely.
and all of that. And it's a very, very cost effective class. Very cost effective.
and those things are more. I mean, they're pretty much like a miniature modified. They've got the suspension on this under the back.
Our car's it's got a 3-link suspension on it.
Are they quick change rear ends in them, or they?
You got some guys that's got quick changes. We actually run a Toyota. If
Right.
we went to other tracks all around different sizes, we'd be running a quick change.
Absolutely.
You know, you've been promoting a lot too. I see you promoting all the time for different tracks. Tell us a little bit about your passion for racing and what it is that we need to get all these tracks, man. We need to get people in these stands. We need to get folks that are supporting these track owners. And, tell us a little bit about your passion of racing and what's behind you making all these shares and all these posts about all these different races.
How we actually got into doing all of this. I mean, all of a sudden I started sponsoring one race car, and it went up to, I think at one time we had 8 that we were actually helping out, to some extent. But my thing with sponsoring all of these other tracks and promoting them, I get tired of seeing the bashing. We got to stop that. We all just got to all get together and just promote. I don't care if you don't go to Dublin, you don't go to Fayetteville, you still need to promote.
Yeah, and make it all work out for everybody. There's something else that you've got going on. You and Miss Brown and your wife, Miss Rosie, and everybody come together, and you've got a raffle going on for JT's Journey. I've seen a lot of cool promotions, and we've actually got tickets right here, and it's possible, ladies and gentlemen, we can put you on. All you got to do is go to the PayPal account. We'll have them filled out. We got a whole bunch of people in here tonight that can fill you tickets out. I think I got about 300 right here we need to sell tonight. And so, if you want to tap in or give us a call, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the number, 910-237-1343. We'll turn it over to our table of champions. If you want to get some tickets, we can make that happen. Tell us what all you can win with this and what the proceeds are going for.
We've got a Harley Davidson T-shirt from Fort Bragg Harley Davidson, a $35 gift card that you can use at Fort Bragg Harley Davidson. Tickets to Rockfish, tickets to Dublin.
Is
Fayetteville.
this the truth? I heard somebody's going to Lady Antebellum.
That is
We
correct.
you got tickets for Lady Antebellum, and all it is $1, and the proceeds are going to JT's Journey. Now, tell us a little bit about that.
Debra Brown kind of started this off and kind of fell in with it. From what I gathered, JT's Journey is about a little boy. He got leukemia, I believe. I think he's got it behind his eye. He was going pretty good and was in remission, but now it doesn't have the best prognosis right now. So we're just trying to ease the burden when that time comes. So money's not really an issue.
Yeah.
But getting back on the tickets, we've actually got 2 tickets to Lady Antebellum at Walnut Creek, and Jaddy Hewlett, he gave us those 2 tickets, and he also called me today, and he's got 2 seats at Walnut Creek for Lady Antebellum. So we've actually got a total of 4 Lady Antebellum tickets
That's awesome. Now, when are you guys racing next?
this Saturday.
So you're going to be down there in that yellow Superman.
The Bounty Hunter.
The Bounty Hunter. Now, tell us a little bit why you call it the Bounty Hunter.
My biggest sponsor is actually Angelic Bell Bonds out of Dunn, Anthony and Michelle Weaver. They've helped us from the get-go, and pretty sure they're always going to help us. We're real good friends. And I just felt like that was the appropriate name for the car.
And we heard through the grapevine that you got a Drawhorn power plant sitting in that machine. Is there any truth to this?
I've got Robbie Drawhorn and Gene's Motorcycle Repair and Service. It's pretty stout. It's the driver, the lughead behind the wheel, get up on the wheel a little bit and get it in the right gear.
I got faith in him.
Oh,
I think he can handle it.
And man, I tell you what I know you've got sponsors. Would you like to give them a shout out?
Have we got an hour and a half for him to give all the sponsors?
We've
out?
actually got an overtime clock that'll pop in if we have. I mean, if he's
honestly, there's very minimal yellow on that car because it's all covered in sponsors. But you know what? That reflects the type of man he is.
Exactly.
I mean, what he's doing for racing, what he's doing for children in the community, what he's doing for people in the community, to me, that reflects, I mean, everywhere, there's not a spot on that car that doesn't have a sponsorship sticker.
And that's. I wish I could fill mine up. I'm going to need. Are you going to be putting any classes on anytime soon?
It's the rolling yellow pages is the way I'm
There
looking
you
at
go. Well, go ahead and give those sponsors a quick shout out. We've got a little time for that.
We got Anthony and Michelle Weaver of Angelic Bell Bonds, Gene's Motorcycle Repair and Service, Neverlift Racing, James Hill Racing, Brad Severs Racing, Dunn Benson Ford, Kent Lamb, Wayne Castleberry, Fort Bragg Harley, 4042 Motors, Armor Coat, Sunshine Vending, Sandy Run Landscaping, Fayetteville House Movers, Gen 3 Performance Imaging, Kozer Powder Coating, Lauren Soe Dolls, Red Line Speed Shop, Robbie Drawhorn Powertrain Development, Rolling Thunder Chapter 1.
Man, that's an impressive list.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
You know what, Randy? We greatly appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you promoting Armor Coat. And if anybody wants to get a bottle of this Armor Coat, what number do they need to call?
910-874-5136.
For the best smelling Armor Coat I've ever smelled in my life. Literally. It's good stuff. Well, Randy, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you for coming in. We greatly appreciate you and all you're doing for racing and all you're doing for everybody, buddy. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next go.
Rooster, I think we have got about time for another caution flag.
Is it time for another call?
It's time for it.
Time for another
Pause
call.
for the calls, maybe.
That's right. Send it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to get back in action, AJ, that was pretty awesome, man. Had Randy White come down and talk to us about all the cool things. And is that not an impressive list?
Man,
Oh,
I'm going to tell you what. I want to take a class. I really do.
Take a class on getting sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we've talked a lot about other folks, but cars looking good, stuff like that. Bellinger Signs and Graphics. You have got some awesome graphics that you put on these cars out here, man. What can you do for the size of racing?
Man, we can help anybody out. We love to do race cars. We also do commercial signage. I really enjoy doing race cars. I love it. I love to race them. And if anybody wants to come by, shoot us. You can find us on Facebook as well, Bellinger Signs and Graphics. You can come by the shop, come and talk to me. We'll sit down and talk racing. We might even come back here and do it straight on the show.
Oh, yeah, man. I tell you what, we're fixing to head down to the pits with our racing book of knowledge, Racin Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Listen up. Here's the phone number, 910-624-7517. 910-624-7517. We're going to turn it over to Racin Ryan for our trivia of the night.
All right, the first ever trivia of the night. What was the name of the movie made in 1973 based on the NASCAR Hall of Famer Junior Johnson?
So we're looking for our first caller to come in. The first caller to come in here
open
tonight. The phone lines are open. 910-624-7517. What was the name of the movie made in 1973 based on the NASCAR Hall of Famer Junior Johnson? We need to get a call in here. Somebody give us a call, and we'll see if somebody can win. We've got a nice Orca chaser here.
Absolutely.
Nice Orca chaser that somebody's going to be going away with tonight. But we're looking for that phone call. Somebody's got to call in, 910-624-7517. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the name of the movie made in 1973 based on the NASCAR Hall of Famer Junior Johnson?
Get your Google fingers going.
Yes, Junior Johnson's all about moonshine.
How perfect is it to have Junior Johnson as the first trivia question?
At the Steel.
At the Steel.
Yeah.
How about this? I mean, let's talk a little bit about what has transpired since last Thursday.
Whew, long nights.
We were delirious last night. That was nuts.
Yeah, but we got Bud Light tonight, so it's a little bit better. I want to thank one of our main sponsors out there in the house, Racin Rooster, and the Brown crew for keeping us supplied over here with the BLs. We greatly appreciate them. Look for the Brown crew. They're also running out down there at the Rock of Hoke. Thomas in the number 50 machine, if I'm not mistaken. Check him out, man. There's a lot of great racing going on down there.
There is, and they are the first winners of the contest to come into the live studio. All they have to do, tell them how can they come and watch a Shine Runners Racing Radio show go live and eat free wings and beer?
All you got to do is like and share.
That's all you
Tell
gotta
them, Racing Ryan, what do you got to do to get here? All you got to do, come down, hang out, enjoy yourself, right? Like and share.
Right.
Right. I love it. I love his answers, man. He's got some great answers. We're fortunate enough to have Racin Ryan in the house. Do we got somebody?
I believe we do have somebody.
I believe we've got somebody on the line.
Let's see. You're on with Shine Runners Racing Radio. This is Hollywood and Rooster. Do you have the answer to our question?
Yeah, I think I got the answer on that one, buddy.
All right. What you got?
Yes, I think that was the last American hero, ain't it?
The last American hero? Who's our caller?
My name is Pete.
Pete?
Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
P-E-T-E.
All right, buddy.
All right, Pete.
I'm a racing fan myself. Hell, I used to race. Man, son, you ain't seen no racing until you seen me on that track, buddy.
Well, heck, you know what? Maybe we need you in here in the studio there, Pete.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just crank it up and I'll be there.
Well, you fired up about racing about as much as I'm fired
I
up
believe
about
he's
this
been-
smelling armor coat we got here.
I believe he has been into our steel.
Just like me.
Well,
What about one? Did I get the right answer on that?
You did, sir. You got the right answer, and you have won yourself an Orca Chaser.
An official Shine Runners Radio Orca Chaser. You come by the shop.
I'm sorry, you go ahead and talk.
You come on by the shop, pick this thing up, and you can fill it full of anything you want, even if it's moonshine, but don't let the law catch it.
All right. Hey, you think my wife will like it?
Oh, she'll love it.
Anybody will love the.
All right, I'll be by there tomorrow. Pick it up then.
Okay, Pete, thank you so much, man. Thank you for playing, and we greatly appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Pete winning the first one here at the Steel. Pete coming in with the correct answer, and that correct answer was the last American hero. What you think about all that, Racing Ryan?
I think that's a great start to this whole thing.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I'll tell you what,
I tell you-
Racin Ryan is going to be the highlight of our
Racin
show.
Ryan is the high. If he was sign language, somebody would have just got cussed out right there. I'm literally, we would have to go to church from what all he just said right there with his hands. You know, we've got some more folks coming in studio tonight. AJ, man, it's been a great time so far. We still got a little bit more to come. We have actually got a track owner who is doing phenomenal things with go-kart racing. And ladies and gentlemen, going to be coming up next, Mr. Terry Odom from Triple T Raceway. Coming back in the house, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the main man, Terry Odom. Terry, man, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We greatly appreciate. Yeah, there that is. There's the hands thing. We greatly appreciate you, man, and all you're doing for racing. We had an opportunity to go down to St. Paul's this past weekend and race your track. Phenomenal facility.
It
I
really
mean,
is.
you are doing an awesome job with go-kart racing, and you know, tell us a little bit about your facility and you know how folks can get the information on it.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on the invite. What y'all doing here is pretty cool. I think everybody knows that we're struggling a little bit in racing, whether you're talking about the local level or all the way up to NASCAR, just struggling a little bit. A little bit about Triple T. We're located in St. Paul's, North Carolina. It's right off Shaw Mill Road, right outside of the little town of St. Paul's, or real close to the Grace Creek area, which is, everybody knows it's the Cumberland area. We're a 1/5 mile semi-banked dirt track. We took over the lease in end of 2015, and we're going for it.
You know, I've been to a lot of go-kart tracks, and I have never seen one black up as fast as that one did. I'm telling you, that thing went from clay to asphalt in no time. The carts were sticking on it. Them guys were slingshotting out of turn 3 and 4. It was awesome action, man. I enjoyed every single minute of it. And me and AJ were actually even talking.
Yeah.
You have possibly got one of the cleanest bathrooms of any facility we've ever been in. I ate in your bathroom, dude. I declare I did. I did.
Well, my wife is, we can all thank my wife for that. She is a freak when it comes to that. And she said early on that she is going to have nice bathrooms. So we can't have the ladies down there.
No, the ladies,
Have a nice
yeah,
bathroom.
they do appreciate that more than you know.
And the concession stand, too, man. Awesome. Fry
Bologna
bologna
sandwiches.
Good Lord have mercy. I mean,
We
that's
call
all.
that the Robinson County Prime Rib Sandwich.
Yes.
That's it.
AKA bologna sandwich.
Yes.
I'm telling you, you ain't had one, you need to get one.
Oh, I had two.
Oh, they're nice.
I had
That-
two. You
you
know,
ain't had nothing till you had a fried bologna sandwich.
Them things are off the
They
chain.
are.
I've been looking up, man. I've been going on your website and I've been going on your Facebook page, and I've noticed some photos of that place absolutely slam rock.
See if we can pull them
You know, I mean, what's been your biggest cart count out there so far?
We have an annual races. We try to have it in January. This year the weather got us a little bit, so we pushed it off to February. We call it the Chili Bowl. And we had, for that weekend, we had like 680 entries for that weekend.
Man,
There was a race, and I believe it might have been the Chile. You had in the last lap like 2 passes coming off of turn 4, or coming off of 2 and then off of 4. I mean, that's exciting racing. There's enough room for people to pass there. You got them. I mean, I told Rooster when we were watching. I said, I think there's a draft at this place. It's so fast.
There is absolutely a draft, and I think the race you're thinking of is the Thanksgiving race. We call it the Rumble.
That's it.
And they was actually coming off turn 4, the last lap, there was 3 cars.
Yeah.
The top 3 cars, and they were like 1/1000th apart when they crossed the finish line.
And that's another thing. You guys use the transponders on all the go-karts too.
It's not like in cars. I think a lot of the tracks now in cars also use transponders. But when you have the little go-karts, as fast as they are on a little 1/5 mile racetrack, I don't think there's a being out there because that particular race had 30 go-karts out there.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult for a person or a few people to.
There's no way you could score that manually, or at least I couldn't. My mind doesn't work that quick.
It's a 30-lap race, and that particular race they were doing sub 12 second laps.
12 seconds around that place.
that's
That is
doing
nuts.
it, man. That's
That is
doing
getting it.
You know, speaking of something that's not 12 seconds around there, is the Donald Ray Seeley Senior Memorial Kid Kart class.
They might not be 12
They might
seconds,
not, but they're doing it, man.
but they
Them
doing
boys
it.
are
And
doing it.
Them kids had a ball out there.
And you turned up, what is your thoughts as far as opening up that Kid Kart class? It's something that North Carolina really hasn't been a part of, but you've opened it up at your track and started to allow it. So, what age group, if someone's got a child that they want to get in racing, what's the age group, and the kind of specs they got to look for?
Yeah, we the ages are 4 to 7, and it must be a beginner. Haven't been racing, never have raced in go-karts, and we use what is called a kid card. And there's a number of them out there for sale, and if you need one, you're looking for one, contact me on Facebook. You can get my email there, you can get my Facebook there, or message me right there on Facebook, and I can connect you with somebody that advertises or selling. That kid card class, I think, is the future. If you get it, we can get the kids back into it. It is absolutely no secret that we're losing more folks than we're gaining in racing, all levels. And you got young folks like Randy. He stepped up and sponsored that class, which was huge. And we have to. He understands the importance of getting these kids involved in racing. We just don't have it like we used to.
No.
We're just not going to. There's so many things going on now. I don't know if that's it. I don't really know what's going on, why we're not getting going through like it's all.
Yeah, and we've got to pull them out there. And the thing that I love about that class, you take it's a learning point. So they're learning the flags. They're learning, how to start a race side by side. I think Rooster told me that you guys may possibly be allowing the receivers or something where the parents could talk to the kids.
In that class, we were going to, and it was a great idea. Rooster brought it up at the track, where the kids can have a little ear mic. They can't talk, but they can hear it, and the fathers can tell them, hey, this is what you need to slow down. They just caution out, or green, go, or red. And I think that will help lessen the danger. Because a lot of them kids don't have no idea what to do.
Right.
They're learning how what the flags mean. They're learning what a red flag means. Or, when they're coming off the track, we have a little bit of instant there. Just slow down.
Absolutely.
Man, well, we greatly appreciate you coming out tonight. Tell our viewing audience again how they can get in contact with you guys. And one thing too, before we close out, speaking tonight, you have got it affordable to come watch a good Saturday night of racing. I mean, how much is it to get in your gate?
For our normal Saturday night, it's $10 for adults.
$10,
7 to 12.
man.
For adults, kids 7 to 12 is $5, and 6 and under is free. We allow senior citizens 65 and over for free.
And that's pretty much couch change. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I mean, I've got that amount of money in goldfish in the backseat of my truck. You know what I mean?
You can't go many places and enjoy and have a good time for $10 kids.
Yeah.
And I assure you that the racing you'll see out there, Triple T, is phenomenal.
Oh, it's off the
them
chain.
boys put it on out there, from the kid kart all the way up to the adult classes, and they get with it.
And you've got some top name drivers out there, man. I mean, you've got Andy Osborne, you've got folks like the Beal family out there, and I mean, it's great to see these guys out there. Go-karting doesn't get a lot of talk, but, we want to support you with all that you do and let folks know about the big races that you got coming up.
There's a lot of folks, when you say go-karts, they're like,
Walmart, or Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, exactly.
It's not like that
No, at all.
These little jokers will get with it. I mean, you mentioned the Bill. Kevin Bill can go anywhere and win. Osborne can go anywhere. You got the fast super Donnie out there. Donnie Pay, he can go out there and win.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good drivers. We got this driver at Fireball, Will Johnson, who comes in there often. I mean, the Johnson brothers. We can just keep going and going and going. Folks that go out there and put on a good show.
We seen last week, we were fortunate enough to come down. We had a little issues. We've been used to racing in Florida, and I personally had no clue about all the elevations. If you didn't know, you're at 133 foot of elevation at that track, just so you know, because believe me, we should have been skyrocketing, but so we went back to the lab, sat down with Al and Core, and we got the cores involved on that go-kart. So we actually are building a parachute to put on the back of it now, because we're going to get that thing lit
You
up.
might need to talk to the tech man legs.
Well, that's the scariest word in racing. Can you bring that thing to the tech shack, please? So, no, we don't have no plans on running illegal, but we do have some of the best pit crew working on that machine to get it ready to go next weekend. I promise you're going to see a little bit of difference.
We had a pit full of folks over there, and I seen The Hollywood Hotel.
Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
not? I mean, the Bellinger Signs and Graphics, AJ and his family rolled out the red carpet for us. It was pretty awesome to be there.
It was a fun time.
Because normally
man.
I'm in the back of a pickup truck with a milk crate full of Cobalt tools. You know what I'm saying? That's me. And I got some stuff mixed in. I had a buddy of mine. He called me and he gave me some tire prep plans. And I come out of Lowe's, looked like I was running a meth lab. But I was praying to God I didn't get pulled over with some of the stuff that I had going on to prep tires and stuff. But it was so welcoming to get there to your track. And why did you get those drivers, experienced drivers, to come out and give fist bumps to them little men that come off the track in the kid kart division?
Man, the sportsmanship in racing has always been awesome. Yeah, we get our little spats, but that's it comes and it goes. And for them little kids to be able to go, because a lot of them kids look up to them drivers. We got some top-notch drivers out there. And to see those come to the pits, and for them little kids to see that and experience that, man.
Racin Ryan, what do you think about that, man? I mean, that's awesome to have a track promoter to be putting that in front of the children and promote the goodness of racing.
Oh, I just love it.
And the drivers love it. They absolutely love it. Right? And you'll see more of it too. Each week they'll get over there and see the drivers.
And you know the other thing out there, and I know it happens in all of the classes out there, but the kids in the kid kart class helping each other back and forth, man. I mean, and if you need something, you go to any trailer most of the time and get what you need, or somebody's going to come over there and help you fix your kart and get it back running.
The camaraderie is awesome. You know, as a matter of fact, when we pulled up down there, the guy that we were racing against was having carburetor issues, and we jumped in there and we was trying to get it fixed as much as we could. You know, he had a little clutch issue, and it wasn't something that we could get fixed at the racetrack without a brand new clutch, but we got it patched back up. That way the little boy could get back on the track. And even though you're racing against somebody, you still, there's not a secret that I have. We don't have any secrets that I haven't shared with him as far as knowing, because I've learned and I've had to go through it with not changing the 2-cycle gas for a month, you know, and now I'm running straight oil because the gas is running out of it. And I've tried to, you know, we've talked and I've tried to help him out because I want his son to run just like Wyatt runs, and they get together and go out there and have a good time together. And that's what it's all about. It's the camaraderie of racing. And you are the type of track owner that is building camaraderie, man.
We try. I've been around racing a long time. I went to my first race when I was 5 years old, and I was addicted ever since. It's like a drug.
It is.
Really is. And I hear a lot of the fathers, and we have a group of them, the Johnson brothers, that his dad's sole purpose in getting him racing to keep his kids off the street.
Exactly.
You get them kids addicted to racing, they can care less what's going on.
Well, one thing, you get them addicted to racing, they ain't going to have any money for anything else.
They sure won't.
In the seats and off the streets, that's what we say.
Yeah.
For the most part, them kids will not have any interest in running.
No.
They want to know when they go racing. The next race they go. That is what they. And in your street, you see a lot of father-sons, and there ain't nothing more special than that. Seeing the families, like the group of people you had out there. There's a bunch of them, the Paisley Seeleys and all those. When they're out there, it's that ball. Them kids will never ever forget that.
It's memories, man. It really. I've got them. I know Rooster does, and you probably do. I definitely have them. You know, with my dad. But getting back to the kid kart class, with, you know, if someone is interested in getting it, these are, you know, it doesn't take a lot. Rooster learned it, and he learned it pretty quick on his own. So they're not really difficult machines to work on. So don't be scared to get your kid involved because I don't know how to work on it. They're really not difficult. We kind of make it sound a little worse.
Yeah, because my wife don't even want me putting air in her tire.
Yeah.
And now I'm working on go-karts.
Yeah.
And there's enough help out there. And, you know, folks like Rooster, there's a bunch of them out there. Seeley, Daryl Seeley, and then Donald Page, which he's here. And my goodness, you got a crowd here tonight, don't you?
Whew, we do, man. Did everybody get some wings? Something to drink?
Stay away from the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Stay away from the hot sauce.
We do have a fire extinguisher mounted right on the wall in case anybody needs
it. I did not get the warning. My God.
We should have made that known, the warning.
Yeah.
But were they good, man? Raging Rooster, you know, Bobby.
And I'm actually going to talk to him about some of our
Cool. And Bobby and Tony come out tonight, you know, and out of the goodness of their heart, they sponsor this event. They're the ones that are running the captain's table, the champions table. And, you know, it's a great thing for the promoters to get together. And I hope that you guys can get together and talk and formulate, you know, I think because here of Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Yeah. He's here supporting racing, so we're supporting him.
Awesome.
That's the way this all works.
Well, buddy, we're gonna flag it down and take a little caution. We're gonna talk a little bit about. We're gonna actually send the jingle out for the Raging Rooster, ladies and gentlemen. Terry, thank you so much for coming in the house tonight, man. We greatly appreciate you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Racin Ryan, you still over there?
Let's take it away.
Looking to ease the pain of cooking for your guests? Tired of hosting the parties and staying on the grill all night? Let us help you. Raging Rooster, a fully functional rolling kitchen loaded with the official chicken wing of Shine Runners Racing Radio. Owned and operated by Tony and Bobby Jackson. Contact them at 910-237-4565 or jackson.bobby@yahoo.com. Raging Rooster Wings. Come get you some. You know, we got a little bit left here on the before we crank out the hour. We're gonna get our main man back here, and we're gonna talk a little. We're gonna get some pit chat, not some chit chat, but some pit chat going on, and talk about some of these drivers, man, that are making marks out there. You know, to look for Boom City this weekend, $4,000 they're paying in the Carolina Clash to come out. You know, the school's out, and one thing we want to talk about: 16 years of age and younger gets in free.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's a great thing to come on out to Boom City. And, you know, your family has got a lot of rich history behind racing. You know, what is one of your fondest moments? And not getting your butt whooped at Roosters Trivia because Mom knew that it was a yellow stripe on the rookie car. I think Mom spanked you guys a little bit on that one.
I think that was the best trivia question ever.
Ever in the history.
Of trivia.
Yeah. But tell us a little bit about you know, what your feelings are about racing and you know, why you're here doing this. Yeah, and you know, your brother is like the Book of Narnia when it comes to racing, man. Dirt racing, I'm telling you, I had a chance to employ Joseph, and man, he needs a job in racing because there's nothing he don't know about it.
He lives it and breathes it.
You know, your dad is actually taking a job, and he's working with NASCAR now, correct? Did you ever get a chance to go down to Mr. Edwards' shop and hang out down at Mr. Edwards' shop? I know your dad, a lot of times, he was down there with Porky and Mr. Edwards and Hank and Curtis and all of them. And, man, I tell you what, your dad's been involved in racing. And is that what leaked down to you guys, you know, with the rich history of racing from your granddaddy? I know you didn't get a chance to meet your granddaddy, but let me tell you about Ronald Collins. God love that man. Oh, my gracious. He was a great guy. I can remember being younger than you are and actually being there and watching Miss Ruby and Ronald dance around and, you know, all the stuff. And you know, you have a rich history in racing, man. And I hope you cherish it and enjoy your time here because we greatly appreciate you.
We do.
Definitely 100% need you on this radio show.
We are so high, and we are going to get a camera to put on Racin Ryan. Even though we don't have to stay on there all the time, we got to get a shot of you, man.
Because, I mean, and he's so handsome. You know, he's in the pit area.
He is.
He's down in the pit
He
area.
ain't got a spot of grease on him yet. He's got a toolbox back there, been working on crunching numbers and facts and all that, ain't got a bit of grease.
Well, his brother said he's covered in asphalt instead of dirt, so we'll have to work on that a little
We
bit.
will have to work on that.
You know, your brother Joseph Swan's actually been going out and doing a lot of work with Gen 3 Performance Imaging. You know, and I'm sure you've been out and did some work with him. Tell us a little bit about Gen 3.
And he's just recently started doing, if I'm not mistaken, websites and hero cards. Have you seen his work? He is knocking it out, man.
I know. I got to get some more hero cards for
for the Nightmare.
And you fathers that are out there that have your youngins in racing, I'm going to tell you, and even the older generation of drivers, get these hero cards, because I can remember being a youngin, and Jimmy Ray, man, that was one of my favorite drivers with that huge old afro he had.
If you miss Jimmy Ray, something's wrong.
I don't know how Jimmy got all this in that helmet he had, but him, Jerry Johnson, Hank Edwards, they're some of my favorite race drivers, and just to talk to them guys, if they come down the pits, and I remember being 4 years old and I peed all over Dad's hood because he told me not to go nowhere. But them drivers come by and, hey, little Bert, and man, that made my day.
Yeah.
So getting these pit cards made by Gen 3 Performance Imaging, and you autograph it and give it to a kid, man, you can make someone's day. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's an affordable. They're very affordable.
Yeah.
And what better way to get your sponsor's name in the hands of people than a hero card?
And we had a chance to talk to Joseph, and Joseph said he only makes one video appearance a year. So I hope that hasn't expired, and we get a chance to get him on to actually
we will.
talk about Gen 3.
We're going to get old Quick Fix 66 on the Shine Runners Racing Radio Show. I can promise you that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to close this thing out. I think we're fixing to throw the white flag here. One more lap to go. Racin Ryan, is there anything you'd like to say, buddy?
This was a fun experience. I'm obviously out of the zone right now. Thank you for having me today.
He's on the high side.
We want to thank everybody who come out tonight, the Champions Table. We want to thank Tony and Bobby Jackson for coming out with Raging Rooster. We want to thank all of our fans that come out tonight. We want to thank Randy Wyatt coming down with this beautiful melon armor coat. This is some good stuff right here. If you got gas, keep this, because you can just a couple whiffs of the melon spray will clear it right out, and you can also buff your car out with it as well.
Yeah.
Terry Odom, the North Carolina Nightmare, Bobby Jackson, everybody that come down tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming. And hey, like and share this, because we're going to do so much more with this radio show. I promise you. Don't forget, we still got the tickets, ladies and gentlemen, for JT's
What's that
Journey.
number they need to call?
You can call 910-237-1343. And as a matter of fact, we've got a lady here right now that can come up and she can give you her number. She's running the whole thing. We just actually happened to step in. So you want to come take this microphone for just a second? It won't bite you, I promise. Yeah. I promise. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Miss Debra Brown.
How are you doing, Miss Debra? Go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
I'm doing good. We started this, actually, we worked with JT's mom at Dublin. JT was diagnosed at 7 months with leukemia. He is now 16 months, and they have told him, there's nothing else they can do for him. My 14-year-old, Thomas, he approached me and wanted to do something for JT. So I had less than a week. We already did one big raffle for him to raise money. And Randy White and them has stepped in and helped us out with it as well, with this raffle going on. And I can tell you, everybody that has donated, JT's mom and dad are very grateful for everything. I have been in contact with them. I've been talking to them a little bit, but we just want to thank everybody, for donating and just showing the support, because they really need that right now.
And now, is there a Facebook page or anything kind of set up where people can go and read more about what's going on?
There is. It's called JT's Journey, and she kind of posted everything on there. Right now, it's kind of very slim posting right this second, but she is trying to keep it updated, and I think she's got some help with that as well, trying to keep it updated for people to know what's kind of going on with JT, because everybody has stepped in big time to help. So
well, we are certainly appreciative of what you're doing for the community, and our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers are with that family as they're going through this tough time. Is there a number that anybody can call to maybe go ahead and buy some raffle tickets or
Yeah, they can call me. My number is 910-978-3177. And then they can also get in contact with Randy White and his wife Rosie, and Rooster, of course.
Absolutely.
You guys have some tickets. So.
Anything we can do to help, absolutely.
And like I said, everything is appreciative. I'm going to be getting all the money together and, of course, taking it. We've also had a foundation that stepped in, and they're doing something for JT. They usually do for an older kids, and they've kind of stepped in to go in and do something special for the family to try to take their mind off of everything right now.
Right,
So,
absolutely. And when will the drawing be held for?
The drawing is going to be this Sunday, between 1 and 2. We will have it. We have a Brown Motorsports Facebook page. Randy's drainage, and probably on his Facebook page and my Facebook page,
and you'll be at Rockfish this weekend.
Yes.
Selling tickets. So if you're out there and you want to buy a ticket, you can go by to Brown's Motorsports, or I'm sure Drainage Inc. Motorsports, and pick up a ticket.
Yes.
All right. Well, we again, as we said, our thoughts and prayers are with that family, and we hope nothing but the best, and we'll definitely be praying for them. And we appreciate what you've done for us.
Thank you, and we appreciate what you guys are doing as well. And like I said, everybody that has donated the gifts and stuff, we really appreciate that as well, to give away. It's just been...
It's awesome to see it in action. Isn't
Yes.
it? The love and the family
it's just
and
amazing
motorsport.
that everybody that has just stepped in and just started donating and stuff, and it's really good. I think we're in a process of trying to figure out something maybe for the 50 Modlite for a foundation, maybe started in JT's name.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to get some stuff worked out for that, to where we can help other kids and stuff in his situation.
Awesome. Well, we would definitely keep that in our minds, and like I said, it's JT's Journey on Facebook.
Yes.
And then check that out, like it, share it. Let's help this family out as much as we can, and go down to Rockfish this weekend, buy a raffle ticket, and let's help this family out. And thank you for your time, man.
Thank you.
Man, that's straight awesomeness. You know what time it is? It's time to throw the white flag as last lap. Racin Ryan, man, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We greatly appreciate you. Don't forget, we got merch coming up. We'll have T-shirts, we'll have hats, we'll have stickers. And Pete's real happy about winning that Orca tonight. I wish Pete was here.
Are you sure he's not at our steel?
He might be here.
Because I think he may have got into it.
Anyway,
all right, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank y'all once again so much. North Carolina Nightmare, if you want to tell everybody, see ya. As we get ready to go out here, throw that checkered flag. Ladies and gentlemen, Shine Runners Racing Radio. We'll see y'all on the go.